The man who feared the ocean, transforming fear into courage. Make sure you save this video so that you can always come back to it when you need inspiration. Once upon a time, there was a man who lived his entire life by the sea. The sight of the endless waves calmed him, the sound of the surf was his lullaby, and yet he never dared to step into the water. The ocean, with its vastness and mysteries, stood before him like an untouchable horizon. He would say to anyone who asked, "The ocean is too dangerous," as a blanket excuse to stay in his safe zone. Years went by, and his hesitation became his identity, his unwillingness to confront the unknown, locking him in a cage built by fear. From afar, he envied the children who splashed in the shallows and the fishermen who carried tales of adventures on the open sea. Still, he remained on the shore, anchored not by choice but by fear. One day, as the man watched the ocean with reluctant admiration, a young boy approached him. Bright-eyed and bold, the boy tilted his head in curiosity and asked, "How can you fear something you've never touched?" The question hung in the air like the tide waiting to rise. For the first time, the man was speechless. Everyone else had always accepted his reasoning, but this boy dared to challenge it. Inspired in equal parts by courage and embarrassment, the man decided to take a step closer to the waves. Heart pounding, he stood on the edge of the shore, the water kissing his feet. He dipped his toes into the ocean, expecting coldness or danger, but instead, the water was warm, soothing, and alive. In that moment, the man's fear began to morph into curiosity. What else had he misunderstood? What other possibilities had fear stolen from him? Day after day, the man ventured just a little further. Soon he waded into the water, letting it embrace him. Fear gave way to discovery. What he had once labeled as dangerous revealed itself to be inviting. Years passed, and the man's timid steps grew bolder. He became a sailor, a wanderer with a soul thirsty for adventure. The very waves he had once dreaded became his path, his purpose. He learned the language of the sea, navigating its highs and lows, understanding that the ocean, like life, is not meant to be feared, but experienced. The moral of this story is simple yet profound. Fear fades when you take the first step. But beyond that, fear is not your enemy, it's a sign of potency. Fear often points to what matters most, to the dreams and passions that lie just outside your comfort zone. What ocean are you standing in front of today? What waves seem too big to face? Perhaps it's a career shift, a creative dream, or even the courage to express yourself more honestly. Whatever it is, know this. The fear you feel is not an anchor. It's a compass pointing you toward growth. Every great journey starts with a single step. Dipping your toes doesn't mean diving headfirst. It means making the decision to begin. It means challenging the inner voice that says, "You can't," and responding with, "What if I can?" The man who once feared the ocean didn't transform overnight, and you don't have to either. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Celebrate your first steps, because they are evidence of courage. The person you dream of becoming is patiently waiting for you on the other side of fear. So what will your first step be? Maybe it's writing that first page of a book you've dreamed of for years. Perhaps it's applying for a job you feel unqualified for, but secretly hope to land. Or it could be as simple as saying yes to an opportunity that scares you. Whatever your ocean may be, let this story remind you that dipping one toe into the unknown can lead to a life of extraordinary adventures. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Share in the comments. What fear are you ready to conquer? Which step will you take today? Make sure you save this video so that you can revisit it whenever you need a gentle push to move forward. Share it with a friend who might be standing on their own metaphorical shore. They could be waiting for a sign to take their first step. Let this be your reminder. Life begins when you move toward the waves.